Jai Samvidhan. First of all, I would congratulate every Indian and the Indians living abroad. Happy Independence Day, and it's a proud day for us, for which our forefathers and the congressmen, and in spite of the opposition of certain sections of the society at that time, who were colliding with the Britishers to not ensure that the country gets independence, but still, with the hard effort of people like Mahatma Gandhi, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru, Sardar Bhagat Singh, Chandrasekhar Azad, Subhash Chandra Bose, and all freedom fighters, we got independence. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru spent 9 years in jail. Mahatma Gandhi, who was a very successful lawyer, also faced all type of agonies. Even Pandit Motilal Nehru and the wife of Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru and Indira Gandhi as a small child also were jailed. But in spite of that, the congressmen fought back and forced Britishers to leave by nation. And that is the only reason as to why the whole world respects Mahatma Gandhi, and whosoever is the Prime Minister of India, whenever he goes abroad, always mentions Mahatma Gandhi and nobody talks about Godse or Savarkar. But still, today we listened to as to what Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, spoke from the Red Fort. See, as a citizen of the country, we wanted to know from Mr. Modi, the Prime Minister of India, the Honorable Prime Minister of India, as to what he has done in last 11 years and especially in last 1 year. Because he is the Prime Minister of India and he doesn't have to give us jumlas and as to what he will do by 2037 and 2047. He should at least give the balance sheet as to what he has done in last 11 years, especially last 1 year. What we have seen. Since independence, Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru built the basic foundation of the country. Whatever infrastructure was required, he did that. Education institutions, scientific institutions, IITs, IIMs, and everything. And then Lal Bahadur Shastri, Indira Gandhi, everybody took it forward. Even Pandit Atal Bihari Vajpayee, when he became the Prime Minister, he did not disturb the ethos of the nation, the social tranquility. We wanted to hear from the Prime Minister as to what he had promised in 2013 when he was in opposition. He was the Chief Minister of Gujarat. As to what he had given the promise to the country that the farmer's income will double. He will give 2 crore jobs to every young man in the country. And the women protection will be given the top priority. The inflation will be controlled and the income will rise. That is what he had told. Now we have to, before hearing as to what he projects as to what he will do, he will make Vajras and he will make Bhagwan Krishna and whatnot. See, these things are not important as to what you are going to do. What is important is as to what you have done. And what we have seen, that the life of farmers were not so bad and the farmers were not treated so badly in earlier regimes, any regime for that matter, whether VP Singh or Chandrasekhar or Deve Gowda or anybody, Moraji Bhai or Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the topmost respect was given to the farmers. And Lal Bahadur Shastri, gave a slogan, Jai Jawan, Jai Kisan. But what we have seen for 13 months as to how the farmers had to struggle and fight and give all type of sacrifices for getting a farmers bill which was introduced and passed by Mr. Modi's government, which was anti-farmer, and ultimately Mr. Modi had to withdraw it. We saw as to how Agniveer was brought and the total aspiration and ambitions of the young men were shattered. We saw as to how the opposition was treated. Opposition was never treated like this in earlier years. Even the Congress went too far to get 2 members of parliament elected from the BJP to say somebody the opposition has to be there in the parliament. When Atal Bihari Vajpayee, as a young member of parliament, asked Mr. Pandit Jawaharlal Nehru to have a special session after 1962 war, Pandit Nehru agreed, and he heard every opposition member's rebuke and whatever they wanted to say. But now it's a Congress Mukta Bharat, it's a opposition Mukta Bharat, it's a sort of a dictatorship that we are seeing in last 11 years. So Mr. Modi today from the Red Fort, he talked about that we will do this in by 2037, we'll do this in 2047. He forgot to tell us as to why, when he took over, farmers' agony increased, the youth employment got reduced, everything was privatized, and the reservation basically became a word which is not discussed now. Privatization is the only key, everything given to the Mr. Adani and the big industrialists, and the small farmers and the small businessmen now are to suffer. And he did not tell as to why Pahalgaon happened, as to why Pathankot happened, as to why Pulwama happened, as to why Uri happened. And he only said something about RSS, that is a great organization, and paid tribute to it. Because he is now becoming 75 and the RSS Pramukh wants him to retire after he attains 35. So instead of telling as to what he did in last 11 years, he was trying to please RSS Pramukh so that he can stay longer in the Prime Minister's post. That was not important. The country never wanted to hear that. The country wanted to hear as to what you have done in 11 years. And 11 years is a big time. The Jumale is that today you say something, then 2037 you will say 2050, then you will say 2075. We are not interested in that. We are interested to evaluate as to whatever you had said in the past, as to what you have performed and what you have given. And the countrymen feel totally that the elections are hijacked. And after the revelations made by Rahul Gandhi about the rigging in the election and the hijacking and adding and deletion and the involvement of the Chulav Ayog in the manipulations, and ultimately the Supreme Court agreed to what the opposition was saying, and he said that the Election Commission has to give all data as to whose names were being removed and who were called dead, and the dead being called alive and alive being called dead. So all these things he did not mention. The only thing he gave too much importance about RSS, as to he was begging to RSS to grant him the extension because he knows that there is a great infighting taking place in BJP. So many factions are there, and if he gets removed, then the difficult days, not achhe din, but difficult days will be ahead for people who have not did what they promised that they will do. And it's not important as to what you promised today. It is important as to what you had promised in the past, and you have to give a performance report as to whatever you had said, whether you have achieved that or not. Thank you. Thanks a lot.